I was born to parents Rodney Ollivierre from Moncraven in St. Patrick's and Maria Scott Nee Ollivierre from Mardi Gras in St. George's. I was born in 1970, June 27, 1970. One of the best days God ever created. And so initially, yes, at birth was in Mardi Gras, and then shortly after that, maybe a couple months after, my dad moved my mom to Fontenoy, where he had moved from St. Patrick. And I grew up until about 4 years in a place called the Byway in Fontenoy, up the Byway, that steep hill going up there. And after about 4.5 years, my parents purchased a house in Grand Mall and we moved to Grand Mall. So I grew up between Fontenoy and Grand Mall until around the age 19 when I migrated. Growing up in Fontenoy, Grand Mall area was lots of fun. A lot of influential people that had a direct impact on my life, but none more so than my dad. My dad, I think, had the biggest impact on my life overall. He was a very loving man, a very caring man, always looked out for people in the village, and I think that's where I got my thing from, seeing my dad do it and taking care of people. I went to Heinze School in St. George's, passed common entrance in 1982 and started at the Grenada Boys Secondary School. I mean, the GBSS is near and dear to my heart because I think I owe most of what I am today in this life to my formal education at the Grenada Boys Secondary School under the tutelage of Mr. Victor Ashby. And while Mr. Victor Ashby was the principal, there were a number of teachers that played a very impactful role in my life also. We have Miss Auntie Lord, who was my maths teacher, and to this day, 40 years later, oh, I'm giving away my age. 40 years later, I still call her Miss Lord. So that goes to show you. We had a great time at the GBSS learning. I went to school with the likes of Timothy Antoine and Nisona Whiteman and Trevor David and Stephen Miller and just some great friendship holding good. And we had a yearning to learn, and we challenged each other, so that was great. Heinze was awesome. A little boy growing up in the town, and going to school in the town rather, and you get into experience certain things. You're roaming all over the place, Scott Street, St. Jude Street, Carnage. So that was great. And on top of that now, I consider myself a city boy because I went to Market Hill Pentecostal Church, and I used to have to walk from Fontenoy and Grand Mall to Market Hill Pentecostal Church every Sunday until the age 16. I'll give you, later on, I'll tell you what happened when I turned age 16, and that Sunday when I decided not to go to Market Hill Pentecostal Church. Let me tell you now. So on my 16th birthday, that Sunday immediately after, I tell my mom, well, I'm not going to church today. And she's like, why? I'm like, well, I'm 16 years old and you can't make me go. I don't know. Somehow I thought being 16 made you a man. And so I decided not to go to church that Sunday. And I went into the pasture to play soccer. And she left for church at maybe around 8:30. And I left the house maybe about 9 and go to the pasture with the other village boys. And by 9:30, I broke my foot. And so I had to be taken to the hospital, and they had to go in the church to to get her to come to the hospital because, of course, I'm a child. They won't look at me without parents. Yeah, and she did ring my ears and probably slapped me in the hospital. But it was good. At the GBSS, Mr. Ashby was very instrumental in pushing us. There was a few of us that he pushed. And he recognized that maybe there was something in us. And he wanted us to do maths and English in Form 3, believe it or not. And I believe it was Timothy's mother, Miss Antoine, who was one of my teachers in Heinze School, may her soul rest in peace, Miss Ursula Antoine, that talked Mr. Ashby into not letting us do maths and English in Form 3 because she said we're still young and we have, our brains still need some development. But we did do the maths and English in Form 4. When we got to Form 4 in GBSS, we did maths and English, and we were very, very successful. I think it was one of the earliest where, students were encouraged to do a couple subjects in Form 4, and so we were able to get maths and English out of the way in Form 4. And maybe that was a sort of indication that, hey, might be some great things for this group to come. And I must say, quite a few of us went on to, do well. And as the saying goes, raise we parents' nose. We raise our parents' nose. But I was one of 12 on my dad's side. My first brother, my biggest brother, I lost him when I was about 3 years old. He was about 12 or 13 years at the time. He got electrocuted up the byway, and so he died. So I didn't grow up with the luxury of having, that big brother. But my dad had 12 kids. He had 6 before he met my mom, married my mom, and gave my mom 6. And my mom had 1 before, so my mom had 7 of us all together. So always in a big family. And I look back now and I commend my parents for the struggles that they had to go through. Both of them not attending secondary school. As a matter of fact, my dad was like the first in his family. So back in the days, the firstborn always had to kind of leave school early. So I think he left school maybe around standard 3. And he always talked about the Royal Reader. And even though my dad left in standard 3, I always wondered how he helped me with maths, because he didn't have that formal education. And even when I entered the GBSS and I was having problems, sometimes my dad was able to help me. And my mom must have left school around standard 4, standard 5, same thing. But at one time, 7 of us was in high school together. Yeah, you probably guess we all like 1 year apart. we all like 1 year apart. I think maybe one of us. I think me and my brother is more like 11 months apart or so.